About 67 years ago, on April 15th, the color barrier in America's favorite sports back then was broken. As we all know, it was Jackie Robinson who rose up and became the first African American to play in the major leagues. But that did not come without a price. Racial segregation was at its prime. Though Robinson proved himself to be an outstanding player on the field, that did not stop racist fans and players from shunning him. When Robinson first joined the Dodgers, the players would say that they would rather not play at all than to play with him. This behavior continued until the manager stood up for Robinson and he said, "I do not care if the guy is yellow or black or if he has stripes like a fucking zebra. I'm the manager of this team and I say he plays. What's more, I say he can make us all rich. And if any of you cannot use the money, I will see that you are all traded." Now that that crisis is averted, Robinson is yet faced with so many more obstacles. Players from opposing teams would depreciate and harass him. Teams threatened to strike and protest if Robinson were to play, but that was stopped by the officials announcing that any player striking would be suspended. The St. Louis Cardinals were especially hostile towards Robinson. During one game, Slaughter from the Cardinals gave Robinson a 7-inch gash in his leg. Then on April 22nd, 1947, during a game with the Philadelphia Phillies, their manager, Ben Chapman, and their players called Robinson a nigger and scorned that he should go back to the cornfields. Despite of all the controversy and hate, Robinson still persevered. He also had a lot of supporters alongside him, and he went on to becoming one of the most and famous influential baseball players. He won the National League MVP award in 1949, and his name was put into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1962. It's a fact that Robinson pried open the doors to a world where there were no racial barriers in sports. Many other notable players followed him after. The Boston Celtics drafted Chuck Cooper in 1950, and he became the first African American to be drafted by an NBA team. Then in 1967, an extraordinary breakthrough in American football happened. Elman Tunnell became the first African American to be inducted into Professional Football Hall of Fame. A significant number of African Americans soon followed these pioneers' footsteps and started joining major leagues and earning proper recognition for their talents. Though it seemed almost bizarre today to be criticized by their skin color, since there's a lot of sensations today such as LeBron James, Usain Bolt, Jeremy Lin, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Tiger Woods, there is still much hostility between the races. Racism still exists today in many sports, but why? It shouldn't even matter anymore. The only thing that should be focused on is the individual's skill and abilities. There's still name-calling and racist remarks being made in the sports community. An example would be the Southern Mississippi basketball team band chanted, "Where's your green card?" to the opposing team, Angels Rodriguez, who was of Hispanic descent. Another example would be Sergio Garcia, a fellow professional golf player with Tiger Woods, was asked if he would invite Woods for dinner, and he replied, "We will have rounds tonight. We will serve fried chicken," as an obvious derogatory and racist statement towards his rival. NBA star Jeremy Lin is also no exception. ESPN posted a picture of Jeremy Lin with the headline saying, "Chink in armor." Lin also faces a lot of other racial comments such as, "Go back to China," "Open up your eyes," and "Orchestra is on the other side of the campus" during his rookie years. The most racist sports today is probably hockey. Unlike the NBA, the NHL is predominantly white, with over 95% of players being white. There are few black players, and they were often discriminated against. Hockey fans that were typically white would throw bananas at black players such as Kevin Weeks and Wayne Simmons and call them monkeys or niggers. In 2012's NHL draft, possible first pick Seth Jones fell all the way to the 7th pick. There is no concrete evidence that it was because of his skin color or his appearance, but it was implied. That is part of the reason why the NHL has mostly white players in the league. Now, the most recent widely scandal is probably one of all you might know about, Donald Sterling. For those of you that may not know him, he is the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, an NBA team. On April 25th, 2014, TMZ released a tape that recorded Sterling and his female friend Stiviano. The tape was from September 2013, and it revealed a very angry Donald Sterling. Stiviano had posted a picture on Instagram with her and NBA wonder Magic Johnson from the Los Angeles Lakers. In the recording, he says to Stiviano, "It bothers me a lot that you want to broadcast that you're associating with black people. And you can sleep with black people. You can bring them in and you can do whatever you want. But the little I ask is not to bring them to my games. It is very regretful that Sterling coaches within a predominantly black league and yet still is very spiteful towards black players. This scandal was blown out of proportion, and Sterling received a huge amount of hate and disdain. NBA stars including Kevin Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal denounced Sterling's comment. President Barack Obama also marked those comments as incredibly racist statements. Eventually, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver announced that Sterling will be banned from the NBA for life and will be fined with $2.5 million. It is sad to say that even though after years and years of fighting racism inside and outside of the sports field, it has not completely gone away. Though racism today is not as conspicuous as it was during the civil rights era, it is still occurring often on the down low. Sports stadiums should be filled with fans cheering and rooting for their favorite team without regards of the color of their skins. The value of a player should be measured by their skill and proneness, not of their appearance or their nationalities. Sports should be played without ethnicity towards a player because of the color of their skin, and players should be treated fairly and equally without being judged. Now, how come we today, who overcame the civil rights era, are still prone to racism? No one should be criticized because of the color of their skin, but in all reality, racism might not even take hundreds of years to go away completely. Since today is a continuous cycle of older generations exposing the younger generations to racism, you might not think that you can do much, but each of you holds the power in your hands to change the whole generation. Stopping racism for good can start with you, and a simple phrase might just change it. No one should be judged because of the color of their skin.